ezenjeze onyo bioma narekele papa malite nogugu forever you will be naro tuto papa blessed be your holy name you are worthy to be praised Imarumaye 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 Papa Idebube dingozi Idebube dingozi Idebube dingozi
Hello, wonderful viewers, my fans. I want to thank you once again for your viewing and your subscription. I give you people kudos. I'm grateful for your encouragement to be coming out and be working tirelessly on this video talk show. Today we want to end the series of topic we have been dealing on for the past days now, titled Raising Godly Kids. We want to end it with another series of a topic titled Relevant Materials Needed in Raising Our Kids. Relevant materials needed in raising our kids. And before we go on, I am your regular host, Precious Chidebere. I also implore you to always press the red button to subscribe on my upcoming videos. Before we go on, I want us to have a short word of prayers. Almighty God, we bless your name, O God. We give you all the glory and honor for another day like this. Jehovah will want to talk on another important topic today. I ask you, Lord, that you will bless my viewers. I also ask that what they will hear will bring change in their families and in their kids to the glory of your name. Jesus' wonderful name we pray. Amen. Yes, we are here again to give you an interesting edition of our YouTube channel talk show. And like I said earlier on, that we are ending the series of the topic we have been dealing for past days now, titled Raising Godly Kids. Like I said earlier on, we want to talk about another subtitle which I captioned the relevant materials needed in raising godly children. The relevant materials. I want you just to give me your ears. We are going to know those relevant materials we are going to use in raising our children. Today we just want to bring to your notice some salient points in this aspect, and we talked previously on the issues that will help us in raising these kids. You know, I have told you earlier on that I have passion of our kids as Christian homes, as Christian parents, because our children are our assets in life, and if we can train them in a way that God desires, I think we have gotten the highest achievement in life. Because when we see our children going in the right direction, we will be happy, we will be proud of them, and God, who has created them, will also be happy. So today, just sit on and watch me give you the details of what I captioned, the relevant materials needed in bringing up our children. One of the salient points I want to talk about today is what I called verbal communication skill. Verbal communication skill. Now, when we talk about verbal communication skills, what do we really mean? What is it talking about? This skill simply means the use of sounds and words to express ourselves, especially in contrast to using gestures or mannerism to raise our children, to bring up our children. What do you mean by that? It is a medium where you teach your children manners, where you teach your children what I call the do's and the don'ts in the family. What do I mean by the do's and the don'ts? You know, in every circular organization, even in the school, in the church, elsewhere, there are regulations, there are rules that guide every place. Even in the working place, there is what we call ethics that will tell you this is the way you have to behave in your workplace. So also it is in our family, that there are things that our children should know, that, oh, this is what my daddy likes, or this is what my mommy does not like. And these are the things we are talking about when I said verbal communication skill. Most times you don't need to shout at your kids for them to do those things you want them to do. There are ways you can communicate to them, in as much as that communication link is there. Because when there is a gap in communication links, the children tend not to really understand what you are talking about or what you really want them to do. But when there is this kind of expression of communication, you carry them along, you see the flow between you and your kids. I think there should be harmony when we parents are raising our children. So when I'm talking about verbal communication skill, what actually I really mean is this. In the home, there are things you want your children to do. There are things that you will say. Let's say, for instance, you have the first child in the home who is the eldest among others. You have to tell that child, see what I want you to do, so that your other siblings can flow with you. Let's say, for instance, you are a working class mom or you are a working class dad, and most times these children are not in the home. And when they come back, you left an instruction for them to carry while you are not there. Let's take, for instance, you prepared a meal for them to eat when they come back home, and before you left for your work, you want the elders to know how he or she is going to dish out the food for every child in the home. This is what I mean by verbal communication skill. You have given a communication link. You have communicated to that child on what you want him or her to do. Another thing again is that when we talk about this, there is this that you want your children to do. An example is this: when they wake up in the morning, after morning prayers, what we call morning, which generally we call morning devotion, the rule is this, that every child need to brush their teeth. After brushing the teeth, every child need that, I need to get my bed, I need to get myself ready for school. Before then, they have their breakfast and everybody go for his or her daily activities for the day. Now, all these things are done through communication skills. And when you do this, you see that you have less work in the house as a parent or as parents per se. So this is what I want my viewers to understand today. Remember, I said earlier on that we are finalizing the series of teaching I started for a couple of time, and today I am ending it with what I subtitled the relevant material needed in raising our kids. And I said number one is the verbal communication skill, which is the avenue whereby you communicate effectively with your kids. And the next point is what I called non-verbal communication skill. What do we mean by non-verbal communication skill? Non-verbal communication skill is also a very practical system of approach. Yes, this time around you practicalize it. This time around you act it like a drama. You show what you have in mind towards your children. When we talk about non-verbal communication skill, what I really mean here is this avenue where you express yourself to your children. That is emotional expression, if I can call it that way. Sometimes we tell our children we love them. Yes, that is a verbal way of expressing it. But now we are talking about the practical way of expressing that love. How does your child really mean that, yes, daddy loves me, mommy loves me? Yeah, the other aspect is you buy gift for them, you take them out, they enjoy all these things. But sometimes these children need emotional expression. And how do we do that? When we talk about non-verbal skill communication, we are talking about hugging, we are talking about praising them, we are talking about kissing them, we are talking about playing with them, we are talking about smiling. All these things are what make the children feel emotional stable, make them to feel a sense of belonging, also make them to feel what I call self-worth. Because with all this, the children will have it at the back of their mind that yes, I have lovable parents, I have caring parents, I have parents that know that I belong in this family, that I didn't come into this family by mistake. So this is the second point we are talking about. Now, the third point, which happens to be the last, is what I called constant whispering. Constant whispering. No, most times I remember those days when we are young, if we want to tell our fellow mates some things that we don't want another person to hear, we whisper to them. Yes, parents can also whisper to their children. Nobody is above that. It's also a dramatical aspect of relating to your children. Remember, all these things we are talking about is relating closely, a closer relationship, building a bond that will make these children to feel at home, that will make these children not to be deceived by an outsider. Because when these children get all these things they need in the home, I think there is no person out there that can deceive them. I think there is no person can win their heart, because what they want in life is seen practically in the home. So what do we mean by constant whispering? This is a method where we always whisper beautiful words to our children. Yes, what do I mean by beautiful words? You know, some people are harsh in nature. Some people like abusive words. When they talk to people, it's not good to be hard. But as parents, I don't want us to use that system to train our children. I want us to whisper beautiful things to their hearing. Things like, hey baby, I love you. My child, you know you are the best in the whole world. If you begin to give your kids this kind of beautiful words to be heard every day of their life, I want to let you know that that child will feel on top of the world. That child will feel that nobody is better than him or her, because the right word that he or she needed to be heard is coming directly from the father, it's coming directly from the mother, it's not from any other person. Because when that child heard from another person outside that this person said I love you, you know, out there are some deceptive words that can be used to get a child attracted, and at the end of the day that child can be mishandled. You know what I mean by that. But when that child is getting that right word from his parents or from her parents, the other person out there telling him that word, to him or her, that one becomes a counterfeit, that one becomes a fake, because he or she will see that you are telling him you love him or you love her is not a rightful word for him or her to hear. So we are talking about whispering on a daily basis, even while they go to school. Before you leave them for going to school, or before you take them elsewhere, call them closer, whisper these love words to them. They will feel great, they will feel happy, they will feel excited. So these are the three things I want us to consider today as we are ending this beautiful teaching, which I started some couple of days. That when we gather all these things, I want to surely believe that we will have great children. I want to tell you that we will have children that when you remember them, you become happy. And God who created them will also be proud of you, because you did a very great job in your children's life. Remember, we are just caretakers as parents. It is God that is the creator of these children, and we are accountable to them if we didn't do the right thing we're supposed to do as parents. These children are given to us by God in order to make them what God really wants them to be. So my lovely viewers, I am stopping here today on this topic. You can also visit my YouTube channel on the subsequent topics for you to know what we have been talking about on the key topic that says raising godly kids. I just want to thank you once again for listening. Please do not hesitate to share this to your lovely friends, to your lovely families, so that they can also use it to inculcate in their family. God bless you for listening. I'm your regular host once again, Precious Children.
Wherever you will be, Naro to toe, Papa. Blessed be your holy name. You are worthy.